But we're really excited about it, and we're just a few seconds away. I've lost my counter, but I'm going to look back at the sun while I still have the opportunity. Wow, that is absolutely amazing. We're down to just a thin sliver of the sun. Renee, what do you think about this?
I can't believe it. It looks incredible, and it really is starting to get dim, and nobody even needs their sunglasses. Just your Eclipse glasses, and you can see that beautiful crescent sun.
Wow, this is absolutely amazing.
We're just really looking forward to that for a chance. We got no clouds here in the sky, and you can see some airplanes up there, but that sun is just getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, it's definitely a Hopkinsville, Kentucky Chamber of Commerce sponsored day here in Eclipseville. There's not a cloud in the sky, and it's amazing how it's gotten so much cooler here since the sun started covering up started being covered.
Yeah, it's nice to have a break from that hot southern sun.
Yeah, definitely. We've been sweating it out a couple days here in Hopkinsville getting ready for this.
We're getting really close now.
So what exactly are we looking at here, Renee?
Well, we're just about close to 100%. It's just getting smaller and smaller, and it's getting dimmer and dimmer, and hopefully soon we'll have a chance to see those Bailey's beads and that diamond ring. Right. That's when you can actually see the light shining through the moon's valleys. And the moon's not a perfectly smooth sphere. It's got that rugged surface, and you can see those sun rays shining through those mountains and valleys and craters.
Wow.
It's looking like we're about 1 minute out now, and it's just getting smaller and smaller.
Wow, this is amazing.
The crowd's getting really excited too.
Hey guys, who back there is excited for the solar eclipse? Wow, it's getting closer.
Wow. It's just getting really close to nighttime. It's incredible. It's like very dim.
Definitely it feels like dawn or dusk here in Hopkinsville right now as it's getting closer. Come on!
And you can see on our feed, there's that tiny, tiny little sliver left to go. And it's really starting to get dark now. Wow. It's
Goodness
like dusk.
Gracious.
And you can see the pink color around the horizon. Oh, it's like a sunset. It's beautiful. It's going. It's going. Just that tiny, tiny last sliver. Oh my goodness.
And we are in total solar eclipse, and this is absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah, you can see the corona, that beautiful white wispy crown coming out from the sun in all directions. And we can see airplanes, and I think I see Jupiter in the sky over there. I think I can see Jupiter.
Wow.
And I see other planets too, and stars.
I can only imagine in ancient times what this must have been like.
I know.
Out of nowhere. I am covered in head to toe in goosebumps. A complete chill.
I know, I am too. I just can't believe we finally got a chance to see it. I mean, it's one thing to read about it, but it's another thing when you get to see it yourself with your own eyes.
Guys, we're going to take a break here just a second. We're going to step back and fully enjoy this and hope you enjoy our feed on the telescope. Wow, here in Eclipseville, it has definitely lived up to.
And now we're getting that diamond ring on the way out.
We've got it coming back. The moon is stepping aside
And
from the
now,
sun. It is getting
totality's over.
brighter. Totality has finished here at Hopkinsville. Wow, that was absolutely amazing, Renee. Can you even try to put it in words?
I can. I mean, I just have goosebumps all over my body.
Wow, this is amazing. We can see the birds flying around in the
we can
distance.
see the sun starting to come out and it's getting bright again.
This is amazing.
It's really a once in a lifetime opportunity. Until the next time.
Yeah,
We'll have only 6 years away. We get to see it again.
Wow, we'll be there.
Yeah.
We will be making
Without
our
a
way.
doubt. I think I'm hooked. I'm an addict.
We have sat in meetings preparing for this for the last 2 or 3 months, and now that it's actually here, it's completely 100% lived up to its billing, and I can't imagine, I can't believe what just happened.
It was just amazing. We were so worried about the weather and the broadcast and making sure our telescope was set up and everything went smooth, and we just had a blast.
Wow, this has been absolutely amazing. Folks, we have really enjoyed it. It's been a great time here at Hopkinsville, here at Eclipseville, USA. Now time for us to send it back to Clarksville, Tennessee, where our good friend Chris Blair is standing by for their reaction to the eclipse. Chris?
Well, I think he meant Charleston, not Clarksville. So let's bring it back here at Eclipse Central. There's only one Eclipse Central, and it's here in Charleston. Yeah, okay, so the hits just keep on coming through the eyes of NASA. Now, let's continue. Now, these are going to be pre-recorded views from the high-altitude WP-57 aircraft. They soar high above the clouds that could potentially block the views of today's eclipse. And they're chasing the total solar eclipse. They're mid-wing, long-range aircraft used to conduct high-altitude research. So, let's go to these pre-recorded views.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are we seeing here, Alex?
So right now we're looking at these specially fitted cameras. They're on the nose cone of the WB-57, and these are designed to look at the corona, and they're also designed to look at Mercury. They're taking thousands of images every minute and processing this data to give us an extended view, because up there at 50,000 feet, it's 20 to 30 times darker than it is here on the Earth. This is a lot less scattered light. So this is a really unique opportunity. As those two planes fly in tandem, they give us about 8 or more minutes of the view of the corona. Now, the other thing they're actually looking at is, because they're so high up, it's very cold, and that allows them to take infrared observations. And in this case, Mercury is very close to the sun, and they can take infrared observations of Mercury to see the temperature change as Mercury is rotating.
That's amazing. So we're going to come back with that, but let's go now. Let's go to Clarksville and see what's going on there.
All right, thanks and welcome back. We're excited to highlight some of the student science and the STEM aspect of this solar eclipse. We have several students joining us right now. Would you please tell our audience your name and what school you go to?
My name's Eliza Dellert. I'm from the University of Alabama, Huntsville.
And what club or group are you with?
I'm actually with the Space Hardware Club.
All right, and you guys have been launching balloons all day today. Tell us about the scientific payloads and the instrumentation.
Well, on our first balloon, we had a Geiger counter counting alpha, beta, gamma particles. We also had a pointing payload to get stabilized camera footage along the way. We had some hops from one of our local breweries. And then we, on our second balloon, we had a live streaming payload. So that was cool. That was probably our biggest project, thanks to Alabama Space Grant and National Space Grant. And so we were really excited with all of our experiments. They went really well.
Excellent. Well, we're glad you came here to do this. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. And so that's University of Alabama in Huntsville. And so we also have another student joining us from the Space Camp, U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama. Tell our audience, please, your name, and I just said who you're with. So tell us your name, please.
I'm Stephanie Bonifield. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
And you're with the Space Camp all weekend long to get
Eclipse stuff was what the Eclipse will experience, and a lot of buddy like burning their retinas and what experiments we'll be doing. We set up the shadow band box here that are out of the shot, but we recorded, hopefully, some interesting data about what was happening during totality, so that's pretty cool.
So you guys will go back and go over that data a little bit. Tell us about the students. Where are they from? It's not just students from Alabama.
No, yeah, we have students from all over the country and even all over the world. We have students just in my team who are from like Spain. We've got someone from Norway. All over the world. It's crazy. There's a girl in another group who's from Mexico and a boy from Mexico, and they were like talking to each other in in Spanish the other day, and that was really neat, just meeting other people from other cultures. So you really get a neat experience at camp.
Absolutely. Education is global. And so lastly with you, give us your first reaction to viewing the solar eclipse.
It's just really crazy. It is daylight here, and it was daylight before, and then the eclipse kind of comes in slow, and it's just like a glowing ring in the sky. It's incredible. It's so hard to explain. And then the lighting, it's not like dark like at night. It's like this kind of almost eerie sort of ambient lighting. And there's a sunset everywhere. And then after totality, like right after, it was like somebody turned daylight back on. The moon just moves away and it's light again. It's really awesome.
No, absolutely. It's exactly what happened. So thanks. We appreciate your time. Thanks a lot. So we got one more student joining us. It's from the Inspire Project. Please tell us your name and what school you attend.
I am Robert Allsbrooks, and I attend Chesapeake Math and IT Academy in Maryland.
And tell us a little bit about the science experiments and research you were working on while you were here.
I was working with the balloons, and I was also working with the shadow bands and the ham radio.
All right. And how about your first reaction to the solar eclipse?
It was just amazing. When I saw the sun go away, and it almost went pitch black, and I just looked up, and there was just a ring around the sun, and it was amazing. That's all I had to say.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
On behalf of everyone here at Austin Peay State University and NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, thanks for letting us be a small part of this wonderful event. Right now, let's go back live for continuing coverage of this eclipse from Charleston.
Thank you. We are having a great time here at the College of Charleston, but we've got more images coming here and the International Space Station later. Let's get some images coming in from the Great Smoky Mountains, one of the largest national parks east of Rocky Mountain. Wow. Alex, what is that? Looks awesome.
We're looking at the sun that's still too bright. But it's almost completely covered. It's getting dimmer and dimmer. And this is the unfiltered sun. So we're going to go straight from this to seeing the corona directly. This is going to be a pretty cool shot, actually.
So here's still, glasses still on.
Dimmer. Still got to have your glasses on. It's still too bright to look at directly. But it's just almost like a little tiny Christmas star or something. It's crazy. It's getting tiny and tinier.
Now, why was it in the shape of a star? That's the first one I've seen.
That's the oh, there it is. I can see the corona.
Oh, okay.
That's because the camera itself didn't have a filter on it, and it was too difficult to see. But we can see the corona. There's now a little black dot, and you can see the corona around it, and that's actually the closest to what we're going to see when we look at it with our own eyes when we view it here.
John, let's go to social, man. They got to be buzzing on the conversation here.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions coming in. Of course, it's trending all over social media. Let's pull up this image right here on the sidebar, if possible. This right here is just one of our users did of the eclipse from Arlington, Texas. Pretty freaking cool, showing the showing the partial eclipse on his hand. Really interesting. And then we have the Toshiba screen in New York City, where, of course, everyone there in Times Square is able to see the partial eclipse. So it's pretty spectacular. Views coming in, and we do have a few questions. I'd like to just try to get a couple in. Is it okay to see a solar eclipse in selfie mode? I see a lot of people. There's students out here, and students like to take selfies. Is that without glasses? Is that okay to do?
Actually, it is if the sun's especially behind you, because if you're looking down, the sun's behind you, and you've got it in selfie mode, that actually will protect your eyes. Again, the main thing is you do not want to have it pointed directly at the sun, so that you might move away and see it with your unprotected eyes.
Yes.
So let me use this opportunity to talk about safety reminders too, about just making sure, like you just said, it's an overall view.
You know, if you're in the partial solar eclipse, make sure that you always have your glasses on to look at the sun. The only time that is safe to take out the glasses is when you're all completely, like the moon completely blocks the surface of the sun in totality. As soon as you see that diamond ring effect, that's the timing to actually put back your glasses to look back at that amazing event.
And John, let's get one more social question before we go to the next phase here. We're just having too much fun here.
Starting to get cold and dark here too in Charleston. This is, I think this is pretty obvious by all of us outside right here, but is it safe to be outside during the eclipse as long as you don't look directly at the sun?
Absolutely. There's nothing different. We are just having less sunlight shining down on us, but there's no real difference, and it's absolutely safe to be outside. And we, of course, as long as you're safe, encourage that.
Yeah, go outside and watch this event.
Okay. All right, here we go. So let's talk about exoplanets. A solar eclipse is a special kind of transit or movement of astronomical body that passes in front of another. And if you've been watching along with us, you know NASA is using today's transit to further study the sun. We use similar transits to study planets outside of our solar system, or as I said, exoplanets, as they pass in front of their distant star.
While a total solar eclipse is a rare opportunity to learn more about our sun, NASA's Kepler mission has been studying distant stars for an eclipse-like event called planetary transit. Using a space-based telescope, scientists from Ames Research Center have been measuring the changes in the brightness of stars as their planets orbit or transit in front of them. Kepler has confirmed more than 2,500 exoplanets, or planets beyond our solar system. Many of these are similar to Earth in size and distance from their sun. Studies using Kepler data have revealed a vast range of planet types and sizes, and future discoveries could help enable the search for life in the galaxy. Another major effort at NASA Ames to use eclipses to study stars in deep space is called SOFIA, or the Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy. SOFIA is a modified Boeing 747 SP aircraft that makes celestial observations in the infrared part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Flying up to 45,000 feet, SOFIA operates above 99% of the Earth's water vapor that absorbs most of the infrared light from space. One example of SOFIA's unique qualities as an airborne observatory occurred when researchers recorded infrared imagery of Pluto as it eclipsed a distant star. What we learn from missions like Kepler and SOFIA could help us to better understand the mysteries of our sun, our galaxy, and our place within it.
All right, thank you. We're here live at the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina, where it is just about time for totality. And I'm here with my colleagues, Dwayne Brown and John Yembrick, and Johnny is somewhere, I believe, Connor Vega, and Alex Young. And you can see the crowd behind us. And if you look up in the sky, which I was doing just before we came back here live, we are probably at about 90% totality. And the good news from the weather standpoint is there are some clouds, but I see some breaks in them just off to the south a little bit, and fingers crossed really, really tight that those breaks are going to move over as we get into totality in just a few minutes. Dwayne, what do you have to say about that?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for, hey man, we got something. You are the man. You are the man. This is exciting. We've got our glasses. We got our scientist Johnny. Come on, get in here, and Alex here. So we're excited here at the college. Make some more noise, College of Charleston. We are having a ball here. There's still a lot more here through the eyes of NASA. We got the International Space Station coming up. You don't want to miss it. Now here we go here. Safety glasses on, guys.
Let's get in there, yeah. We still got maybe a few more minutes to go till totality, but You can see. Look at that. You can see that. Yeah.
Wow. Johnny, you know, even with the clouds, we can still see it. It's pretty good, right?
You guys see it?
Yeah. A little bit.
All right. I think we got some break in the clouds. I can see.
We got a couple minutes. We still got about 3.5 minutes left.
Guys, this is amazing, right?
This is amazing.
Through the eyes of NASA.
Oh my God, it went a little bit.
Donald wants a selfie with everybody. Can we get everybody to stand up?
College of Charleston is getting a large selfie with the students and faculty and everyone here.
2.5 minutes left.
2.5 minutes.
You can't see me, but I'm here. This is so weird.
Dwayne, you've actually seen a total eclipse before.
I have, and it's amazing, and it's spiritual, and it really brings you in step with that. We're just a small pebble on a highway of galactic endlessness.
Does viewing this right now bring you back to that moment several years ago?
It's a little different because I'm here on American soil with you guys here, but it's still breathtaking.
Amazing. Yeah.
You know, Sean, I haven't seen it in Africa and here in the U.S. Doesn't get any better than that, my friend.
No.
Here we go, almost. Here we go, it's coming. Johnny, what is it there? Is it there yet?
No, it's hard to tell. I think that was just some cloud cover.
Getting dark.
It's getting dark and it's getting cooler too, which is nice.
The temperature has dropped.
We're still. I don't think we're quite there yet. Got some patches of blue just a little ways away. still just an amazing
This,
experience.
I have goosebumps. Like, this is...
It is safe to remove your glasses and look at the total eclipse. You may remove your glasses.
You got a minute and a half, right?
Yes.
Totality.
A minute and a half of totality. So we have
Once again, it is safe to remove your glasses and look at the total eclipse.
Yeah, that's it. Wow. Put the glasses back on now.
Glasses back on.
So big, you don't
Please replace your glasses. You need to put your glasses back on to view the sun now. Please replace your glasses. You must be wearing your glasses to look at the sun.
I mean, we experienced the temperature drop.
Yeah.
And it was dark. It was dark. 2024.
Yep. Ready for the next one.
We got IFB in here, Sean.
Okay, Sean, this is your first, right?
This is my first, but certainly not my last.
How did it feel?
Amazing. You said it yourself, Dwayne. This is amazing. That's the only word to really describe it. Even though we had the clouds, it was just an incredible experience. We got to experience the darkness. We got to experience the temperature drop. We got to see it in, kind of moving in and out between the clouds. But most importantly, we got to experience the energy and the enthusiasm that we feel all around us here today.
Well, this team in the city of Charleston, well, thank you. We had some iffy weather, but you made it happen, man.
Yeah, well, thank you. And you don't know the half of it. I've been also monitoring for possible thunderstorms, which we are having. We've been having just up to the north in places like North Charleston, Goose Creek. Luckily, because of a sea breeze pushing the moisture that's been bringing, allowing these clouds to develop, moisture coming in from the Atlantic, that sea breeze has been pushing those thunderstorms inland a little bit. So even though we still have some cloud cover here, we have been very lucky not to have any rain or thunderstorms like we had yesterday at this time.
You are really a true meteorologist, my friend. Johnny! Hey, Johnny! Okay. space weather expert extraordinaire. How was it?
It was amazing. Like Sean said, even though that we couldn't see it, consider the solar corner, which, is what I really, really wanted to see. We experienced, the darkness and the change in temperature, and also, the energy of the students. We even started hugging up because we were so excited. It has been an amazing experience. So the next one, 2024.
Hey, Alex. You gotta feel good, man.
This was fantastic, and it was also a big tease for the next one, because man, I want to do this again. I could feel that shadow overhead. I could see the light and the horizon all the way around, feeling the change in the temperatures, even seeing the clouds themselves moving differently as that shadow hit overhead. It was fantastic. It was palpable, man. I could just feel the energy around here, and I want more of this.
Well, let's hear what the country and all of this in Charleston. Let's go to social media. Over to you, John.
Yeah, the reactions across the entire nation have been huge. We have, actually, if you're watching at home, some of our streams actually went down only because the fact that, there was just so much traffic on it. Of course, we were broadcasting this all over the country. I want to show up on our slide, some of our graphics here, some really cool things, photos that we have here, some crescent-shaped shadows in Seattle, Washington, taken by Logan Johnson. This is pretty interesting image, as you haven't really seen anywhere else. The next one here is a totality view from Idaho Falls. This is David Cantillo. Just some spectacular images coming in from all over. People are sending us stuff using the various hashtags out there. Eclipse 2017, which is our hashtag, Solar Eclipse 2017, which is trending on Twitter and other places. And of course, we're reading a lot of this stuff coming in too. We're seeing and reading your reactions. Some of it is just really shows the amount of how it really impacts people. And us being here in Charleston, we also saw get really dark here, get cool breeze coming through. And even though there were some clouds, it was like nothing we've really ever experienced before. And so for those of you who are in the path of totality, I hope the views we're showing you here today have really helped you kind of get the sensation of what we're trying to show. And here's this last one here is a 99.5 near totality nerds here in Boise, Idaho, checking it out. One of our photos there. Everyone is wearing eclipse glasses, and it's we still have a partial eclipse on the East Coast. People are still seeing the sun transit, and so it's an exciting time here. I think we have another view here from Bailey Beads, seen from Oregon, from one of our photographers. This is a NASA photographer, took this shot right here. I think that's just before the diamond ring pops up, and it's pretty spectacular shot. So I think if we're ready to get going again, I think we have a quick question would like to take a look at some of these here. There are a lot of these are questions coming in from eclipse viewing. Now the eclipse is officially over. I see that. What were your reactions as you were watching it? I know we were out there and stuff, but now that it's over, what's the sensation that having the totality behind you?
It was amazing. I got goosebumps. This is my first total solar eclipse. I actually remember watching, a partial solar eclipse back at home in Puerto Rico, and this was amazing. Like I said, the darkness that was around us. It was amazing being, knowing that it's day.
I was just sort of amazed by the kind of rush of how quickly it all of a sudden happened. The darkness, and then I could just feel it all around me. It was really, really powerful.
Well, I'm glad it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad it's cooled down.
Yeah, it's cool because it was hot. It was hot.
It was very hot.
But the weather, it's amazing. And as we said earlier in the show, and when we watched it, this is my second one, but sharing it with you guys, this is very, very cool and memorable. And 7 years is another one? Is
7 years in the U.S., but we've got one in 2019 in South America.
In Argentina.
So we'll start making reservations already. So this is certainly one for the history books. But we're not done yet. The solar eclipse is traveling over the Atlantic Ocean. So Alex, let me turn to you. How far is it going to go out to the ocean?
It's got another 3,700 miles roughly to travel. It's going to end just off the coast of Africa near Sierra Leone, in that area. but that's also where night begins, day ends, and night begins. So we got a ways to go. There's still some more left, and maybe if you're out on a ship, you're going to get to see some more of it too.
Yeah, we have the Coast Guard 5 miles from Charleston.
Oh, well, that sounds pretty good. Well, you know what? I've been talking about this. If you just tuned in, this is NASA Television through the eyes of NASA. We have been bringing you unique images, reaction from all over the country. But now in 30 minutes, we'll be bringing you a view from one place no one else can go, the International Space Station. We'll check in with the astronauts aboard to see how they experience the eclipse from space. Here in Charleston, we will continue to see a partial solar eclipse for about 90 minutes or so. And remember to continue to use safe wearing, viewing, glasses, methods, and everything in between. Safety, safety, safety. Now we're going to my colleague, Karen Fox. Hey, Karen, who's out in the field getting more reaction. There she is.
We have been having a ball out here on the quad at the College of Charleston. Everybody had a great time today. We're going to ask a few questions for the people who were here. Why don't you step over here, young man? Tell me your name.
My name is Josh Petro.
And what year are you?
I'm actually a second year here.
So you come to Charleston College, the College of Charleston, just to see this eclipse? Like, is that why you chose to matriculate here?
Oh, absolutely. No, to be honest, I love this school, and the eclipse, I've been studying the sky since I was probably 9, since I could read. I take out astronomy books. So this is just once in a lifetime, honestly. It's amazing.
So tell me about it. What did you experience when you watched the eclipse? What did it feel like for you?
It was just like, wow, this is what you read in books. This is the kind of thing that you think, wow, if that happened to me, I don't even know what I'd do. And it happened.
It's fantastic here. So I have one more question. You said you've been studying space since you were young. What are you majoring in now? Are you studying science?
Actually, the plan was to do a double major of astronomy and physics. And hopefully maybe do some of that work myself one day.
Awesome. Come work with NASA. We'll look for you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. All right. Let's find somebody else. You want to come on up? Come on over. Sure. Tell me your name.
Oh, my name is Amanda Anium. I'm a rising junior in the Honors College at CFC. I'm sorry, no, you didn't ask that, but...
But I was going to. That was exactly what I was going to ask. You're like a mind reader. Do you know what my next question's going to be?
How was my experience? It was amazing. I felt a total unity with the world. I did.
That is fantastic. So I have a question. What are you going to do with your eclipse glasses now?
I think maybe as a souvenir for my grandchildren. I think that's what I would do with my glasses.
You're going to be like, let me tell you, kids, this is where I was on August 21st, 2017.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she summed it up pretty well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We are going to go back to Dwayne Brown, and we'll be back later with more conversations from the college.
Thanks, Karen. It's always good to see the young, and I see some inspiring scientists out there. Now, let's take a look at the highlights from today's events, and when we return, we'll learn more about how the astronauts viewed today's eclipse. Okay, through the eyes of NASA, only here are we bringing you the International Space Station live. It's traveling at 17,500 miles per hour as it orbits Earth. Now, from NASA's Johnson Space Center, we have Rob Navius in Mission Control. Rob, over to you.
And welcome to Mission Control here in Houston. About 40 minutes ago, the 6 residents of the International Space Station flew over southern Canada, south of Hudson Bay, at an altitude of 252 statute miles, with a very, very unique view of today's solar eclipse. We're going to be talking with the crew in about 18 minutes from now and sharing some of that very, very unique video with you. It was spectacular, I must tell you, and digital still imagery that Randy Bresnik has captured throughout the course of the first 2 of 3 passes the station is making over the eclipse throughout the course of the day today. That has already been posted on social media and will continue to be posted as the day wears on. But we're looking very much forward to talking to the crew and getting their impressions and thoughts as they passed over the eclipse just about 40 minutes or so ago. So we'll be back to you in just a few minutes with the crew of Expedition 52 aboard the International Space Station. For now, back to you in Charleston, Dwayne.
Thank you, Rob. And coming up later in the show, we'll have another unique eclipse view from space. We'll have imagery from NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory. It's also about to see an eclipse. So, SDO, Solar Dynamics Observatory. Alex, tell us a little bit about SDO.
Well, SDO is one of NASA's heliophysics fleet. It gives us an unprecedented view of the sun. Incredible detail, incredible time and spatial resolution. It shows us 10 different wavelengths of light at the same time, showing us in mostly extreme ultraviolet light, the sun's outer atmosphere, corona and chromosphere, where we can see all of the dynamic phenomena that's happening. It is putting down almost 2 terabytes of data a day, giving us these unbelievable views of solar eruptions, solar prominences, solar flares, and all of the activity in the sun that drives space weather, what Yari spends her days studying.
I mean, it's just an amazing mission because it lets you see in so much higher resolution the images from the sun that you can actually understand the origins of space weather and those solar flares, the corona's mass ejections. I mean, put it in perspective, it's like downloading more than 1 million pictures a day. That's how much data.
SDO, wow, that's incredible. Okay, so we're going to go back to Karen Fox, who has a pretty important person with her. Karen.
All right. Hello, we are back, and I have Mike Massimino with me, a former NASA astronaut who was on the Space Shuttle twice. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Karen. Hello, everyone out there on NASA television. It's good to be back on NASA TV.
We are so glad to have you here. Now tell me, was this your first eclipse?
Yes, this was my first eclipse. I think there's one I passed by my neighborhood in New York on Long Island when I was a kid, because they were telling us not to look up the sky and be careful and all that. That was like 9, I think, when that happened. It was a long time ago. So this is definitely the first total eclipse I've been a part of, and yeah, we'll see when I can get to the next one. This was pretty cool, though. I'm glad I got to be here for this one.
Tell me a little bit about it. What was your experience? Did it live up to what you were expecting?
Yeah, I mean, there was certainly a lot of excitement. It was, it came right at the right time. I think all the science assets and resources that were out there trying to collect data and study the sun, that all went well. A lot of excitement throughout the country. A little bit too much cloud coverage here, though, in South Carolina. So, we maybe could have gotten a better view, but it could have been a lot worse, too. I think there are other parts of the country that got clouded a little bit worse from the weather. But it was really cool to be here, and it got cooler. I could see it, and I could feel it with the temperature, and I could hear it with the excitement of predominantly a student crowd that we had here at the College of Charleston.
So tell me a little bit about what it's like, something that the rest of us have not been able to see, which is seeing Earth from space. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Earth from space is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It really is beyond words. It's like a look into paradise. It's just a beautiful planet. We're very lucky to be here. And I used to always count like the lucky things that we had here. We have an atmosphere that keeps us alive, and we have water that keeps us alive here on our planet, and we have a magnetic field that keeps us protected from solar radiation. But we also have a moon and a sun. The sun is 400 times larger than the moon and 400 times further away, so they're the same size in the sky. So we get a chance to have solar eclipses, which other planets in our solar system do not. So we're lucky for a lot of reasons, and I'm going to solar eclipses to the list. But the beauty of it, the beauty of the planet, and also the sense of clockwork of this, this ballet, this dance that goes on between the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon. You can see that in space, and you can see the rotation of the Earth. What we call the terminator between night and day, and as that just steadily rotates, just like this clockwork going on. And that's what we witnessed today. This clockwork with the Moon involved, getting in the path of the Sun, and us all lining up perfectly together. And it's that clockwork that still amazes me, that everything has this permanence to it. It doesn't disappoint you. It's been going on for billions of years and will continue to go on for billions of years. The sun will come up tomorrow. These things will keep happening. It's a power, a force that we can't control. And to see it in space was cool, and now to see it down on Earth, that was cool as well.
That was a beautiful sentiment. Thank you very much. I agree. We've had an incredible day watching this. So how about 2024? Do you think you'll be lining up to see the total eclipse in 2024?
When's that? That's not too much longer. Where is it going to be? Where is it coming that year?
That is going to go up from Texas up through Maine. It will be in 2024. We're excited.
So not coast to coast, but yes, that'll be good. I'll go.
And back to Dwayne Brown. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Karen. It's good to see Mass too. Now that the entire United States has experienced today's solar eclipse, let's go to social to see what people are saying, and they're saying a lot, I'm sure, right, John?
Yeah, thanks, Dwayne. Yeah, we just captured a few reactions and want to show those to you here with some graphics. This person right here is loving NASA's game day today. He's giving some shout out to us here on the broadcast, which is really, really quite nice. This is another one of our Twitter users from Nashville. Just some awesome photos taken by users across the internet. If you use the trending hashtags out there, you'll see, and I've been looking at here on my computer, just some amazing photos taken from the public. Some amateur photographers. It really looks like legit stuff all over the internet. Here's another one of our users. He wrote, "This was the pic of the eclipse I took through glasses. A second one I've seen in my lifetime. Awesome." Here's another one. I'd like to thank the clouds for letting me look at the eclipse. It was so cool. We are not thanking the clouds here in Charleston, South Carolina, but we did get to, it's really, you could see it with bright, the sun was bright enough, you could see the partial eclipse with glasses through the clouds. It's just totality was a little bit of an issue. Here's another one on Twitter. It's very weird to be in a darkened home with not so much daylight at 2:45 p.m., yet the sun is still shining outside. And here's another one. Wife and I are currently gazing into the bottom of a box of frosted mini wheats per ADNAS advice. It's just making me hungry. And honestly, it was better than I thought. I think a lot of people across, that's one thing we're really seeing. I mean, everybody knew this was happening. I think the emotional experience that went with the eclipse, a lot of folks we're seeing online weren't necessarily anticipating that. I think it could be really heart-wrenching and scary a little bit, but also really emotional and spectacular. Here's another one. Any other day, I'd be concerned if I saw a line of people on the roof of the parking garage. Today, not so much. It is solar eclipse day. And here's our last one I want to show you all. I'm saying y'all. Y'all, oh my God, OMG, it was the coolest 2 minutes of my life. So I think a lot of people around the country were seeing that sentiment. This is the sort of celestial event that really has a big impact. We look at the sun every day, and we see it in the sky. It's a very constant for us. And all of a sudden, for it to be obscured feels a little unnatural. And I think that's one of the things we were really seeing across the internet. So thanks everyone for submitting your questions with the hashtag and for giving us your photos. We really appreciate it. And it's been a spectacular day for all of us.
That's the great thing about social media. The creativity and those things are it's just so awesome when they post those things.
You get honesty.
Yes. And we really, really appreciate your support for NASA, and keep those images coming in. Okay, so we've witnessed a total solar eclipse as it moves across the entire United States. And it's incredible to think about how NASA scientists are using advanced tools to image this eclipse. So Alex, before all of this advance and here, the cameras that people use that we have now, I think people used to draw the eclipses. Let's take a little history lesson.
Yeah, so, one of the things that's amazing, so looking at the sun and eclipses is actually the beginning of modern astronomy. And before we had cameras, people actually drew eclipses by hand. And in fact, this phenomena that Jari and I study, coronal mass ejections, were first seen in an image. So if you look at this image I had an image up from this book. It's actually an image of a coronal mass ejection. But what you're seeing here are images from 1869 showing you the corona drawn by hand. But when we look back in the past, before we had cameras, we discovered helium on the sun. That was done during a total solar eclipse. We discovered the outer atmosphere was hot, and we even were verified general relativity in 1919.
Yes. And you know, the image that Alex was going to show you in the book is actually like 100 years before we can actually see it with a satellite. Is that amazing?
Okay, so you know what? I want to do something fun here. All right, we're having fun. Can we have some more fun? So Alex, I mean, and for the young students out there and folks, the future generation scientists, as I told Alex earlier, he is one of the coolest looking scientists that I've seen. He's got the earrings, got the look, but he also has something even cooler. I got to show him the shoes, man.
All right, let's see if we can get this to work. Let's show that.
Oh no, there you go.
There you go.
Plain shoes.
How cool is that, folks? So Alex, what got you into the heliophysics and the sun? A little background.
Well, I've been interested in astronomy all my life, seeing things like Star Trek and Carl Sagan. But when I was studying astrophysics in graduate school, my professor said, you ought to look at the sun. The sun is really close, and it's something we can study in incredible detail, and you can use this as a tool to study the rest of the universe. So that was when I realized that we can learn so much about our universe, why we're here, just by looking at our closest star, the sun, and all the incredible detail that we have. And this is the reason why scientists are so excited about total solar eclipses, because we can see a region of the sun in visible light with our own eyes that we cannot even see from space.
Fantastic. So, Alex, I'm going to come back to you because I understand you're a cat lover, and Jody, I know you have a fantastic story to tell. But we're going to go back out to Karen, who has another special guest. Karen, you're just having a good time out there.
I am having fun. The College of Charleston students have been fantastic supporting us today. And we have some more students here. Can you tell me your name?
I'm Nicole.
And tell me what year you are and what you're majoring in. I want to learn a little about you.
So I'm a senior at the College of Charleston. I'm studying biology. I want to do conservation work with like endangered species and fragile habitats.
Fantastic. So was this your very first total solar eclipse?
Yes.
And what did you think?
It was really awesome. I was glad I got to see it.
Tell me a little bit about what you felt when it got dark and got cold. What did you think was happening?
It was kind of just surreal. I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't expect all the lights to come on and stuff, so it was really cool.
How about the rest of you? How was your experience today on the total solar eclipse?
Unreal.
Yeah.
I'll never see it again.
You're going to see it in 2024.
Oh, really?
Really? And where? Where at?
We have another total solar eclipse across the United States from Texas to Maine, 2024. And of course, you can start traveling for them. Do you think you'll start traveling for them?
Probably not. Honestly, it was cool, but
yes.
I don't know. It's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime type of thing. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask you my favorite question I've been asking students this week. What is the music you associate with the sun and space and the eclipse? Give me something.
Here comes the
Dark Side of the Moon.
Sing it for me.
Nah.
Come on. Here comes
the sun.
Here comes the sun.
Thank you very, very much. We are doing well here at the College of Charleston, having a great time. People are beginning to leave the quad now and moving on and going on to start school tomorrow, right? So is this like the best start of school ever?
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't have started like a different way. It would been awesome.
Fantastic. We got one more person here. Do you want to come over? Come on. Tell me a little bit about what you experienced. Was it like what you expected? What did you expect?
I expected it to get dark, but I didn't expect the temperature to change and get so cold.
I felt the same way. I was really surprised. I kept thinking it was going to rain or something, and it never did. It was fantastic. All right. What are you going to do with your Eclipse glasses now?
Just keep them as a souvenir. I might put them in a scrapbook.
Oh, I like that. Don't use them if you ever get them scratched, okay? If you keep them pristine, you can use them again, but not if they get scratched, okay? You're going to be real careful with these, right? All right, fantastic. Anybody here a science major? Any one of you guys? You are? Come on up. Oh, look at your shirt. Look at your fantastic shirt. Wow, tell me about your shirt.
I don't remember where I got this, but it's obviously constellations, and it seemed appropriate since it was astronomical.
I agree. And what kind of a science major are you?
Geology and biology, probably.
And do you say that this inspired you a little bit more and be excited about science?
Yes. Really amazing.
Thank you very much. I'm so glad you all were here today, and we are going to hand it back to Dwayne Brown. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Karen. You know, and they're our special guests because, you know, the kids and our future scientists are really, really important and special. And Jody, I know the audience wants to hear your story. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, we're sharing here. Tell us your story.
Well, I mean, I started interested in science since I was a little kid. I was very curious, but it was when I remember I traveled to Florida. I have family in Florida. I was 6 years old, and I went to the Kennedy Space Center, and I saw the amazing things that NASA had there. I put in my mind, I want to work for NASA one day. And coming from a little island, you know, Puerto Rico, hola Puerto Rico, I mean, I have to work really hard, but it's, you know, here I am. I work really hard, and it has been an amazing experience, and look where it got me.
Oh my goodness, so I'm glad to be here. It's been a great day. So ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about this. Now it's time to go back to the Johnson Space Center to Rob Navis and the International Space Station coming up. Rob. So, okay, not yet. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna come back here. I just love live television because you turn. But, so now we can talk about cats. Catman.
Yes. I'm a cat.
Let's go.
I'm a cat lover. Yeah. So, you know, I love cats. I've always had cats. My wife has cats. And the great thing about it is they're such great companions, and I do a lot of traveling for NASA. And it actually is very convenient to have a cat because they let you go away, come back. They're still glad to see you, but they don't need quite as much care as a dog does. So actually, for all the work I've done and all the time I've spent out studying the sun from other countries, cats have always been there for me. So
2 quick questions, and then we are going to go down to Houston. Advice for becoming a scientist, real quick.
Well, study. It sounds simple, but just keep going to school, but try as many different things as you can. Experience in different opportunities, internships, things like that, because it gives you a chance to really see the breadth of science and technology out there.
Jody.
Keep motivated. You know, like Alex said, do the internships, try different things, because you never know exactly what you really like, and to be really happy on your job, you really have to find that calling, what you really, really love.
Yeah, and for the folks and the kids and the students watching, and a lot of you out there, I mean, look, Alex and Jody, I mean, they're amazing. They're amazing. And we'll hear more about them. Now, within the past hour, as Eclipse swept across the continent, U.S. 6 crew members aboard the International Space Station had a chance to view this phenomenon from a unique vantage point. Let's go to the ISS Flight Control Room at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. Rob Navis, back to you with more. Rob.
Thanks, Dwayne. You know, millions of people have been witness to this amazing event across the United States throughout the day today. But up on the International Space Station, members of the Expedition 52 crew have had a unique celestial front row seat to history. About an hour ago, the International Space Station flew 252 statute miles above the Earth over southern Canada as it made its way south of Hudson Bay with a tremendous view of the moon's shadow against the Earth. The moon covering about 44% of the sun during the second of 3 passes. You can see it in this animation right here. The crew were glued to the windows of the International Space Station with an HD video camera, with an armada of digital still cameras to capture every moment of those precious seconds. With us at this hour aboard the International Space Station in the Destiny Laboratory of the complex are 4 of the members of the Expedition 52 crew, NASA flight engineers Peggy Whitson, Jack Fisher, and Randy Bresnik, and flight engineer Paolo Nespoli of the European Space Agency. Thank you all so much for joining us today on this historic day.
Yeah, it's been an exciting day for us to have the opportunity to see the eclipse from here.
Peggy, let's start with you. You were in the cupola with an HD video camera looking out at the limb of the Earth where the shadow appeared, capturing some spectacular video that we're going to replay here in a second. What were your thoughts and impressions as the station flew over the shadow of the Earth?
Well, I'd seen pictures from previous Eclipse, and so I think I had underestimated what this would look like. This was much darker than I gave it credit for being. Unfortunately, it was kind of near the limb, near the edge of the Earth from our view, so several 100 miles away, but it still was impressive to be able to see that dark spot as we passed by.
For Randy Bresnick, Randy, you've been looking forward to this event for some time now. Your thoughts and impressions of the Eclipse. You also shot digital still imagery of it as well. And what does a solar eclipse do to a human being? What does it do to a human being in terms of understanding our place in the universe?
That's certainly a big question. You look down at the size of the shadow, and we've gotten used to the scope and scale of what the Earth looks like from here, and just understanding how many people will be affected by that. And a friend of mine the other day, mentioned that, and it kind of really came to me, when we were actually looking at it, was that just a few hundred years ago, human beings wouldn't have even known that the eclipse was coming. And so here you are looking up, and all of a sudden the sun is disappearing. And what are the thoughts for all of human existence, where everybody's looking up going, the gods must be angry at us, and now we have the ability not only to know it's coming, people are excited about it. We know people that travel to go be under the umbra, and making an event, a celestial event. And for us, being able to witness it from above was just really special, because it represents how far we've come with the technology we have. I mean, look, we're on the International Space Station, where we're doing more than 250 different experiments and working with an international team. Look at where we're at. And so I look forward to the next time we have a full eclipse. Maybe we'll be taking pictures from a lot farther away.
For Jack Fisher, Jack, it's good to see you this afternoon. You sent a picture very early this morning of this raft of cameras that were laid out in the Destiny Lab, ready to rock and roll to capture every second of this unique event. Was it awesome sauce ×2 for you?
Yes, it was awesome sauce ×2. And Rob, this has been a huge coordination effort. Comrade Randy has been in charge of planning where all of us would be, and a little orchestra of which window, which camera. So he did a great job with that. I was actually supposed to be taking off a window pane or a scratch pane right now, but due to the lighting and how we're going about it, we don't really need to. So I got lucky and got to join all these folks for the BAO event. It was, Peggy said she underestimated it. I definitely did. Just judging from the pictures, that spot was, a lot darker and a lot larger than I thought it would be. And, I kind of was sitting in the Russian segment at the window thinking, you remember snipe hunts? I was like, man, this is kind of like a snipe hunt. I think somebody's pulling a joke on me. And then all of a sudden, this huge black shadow was going across the Earth. So it was amazing, and it was cool to see from this vantage point. So absolutely awesome sauce ×3, Rob. 3 chocolate awesome sauce with a side of sun awesome sauce. I don't know. It was awesome, Rob.
For Paulo, we do remember 6 years ago, May of 2011, when you departed the International Space Station on a Soyuz vehicle to come home from your last flight. You took that signature picture of the shuttle Endeavour docked to the station with all of the other international partner components and vehicles linked up. How did today's experience compare with that moment 6 years ago?
Well, 6 years ago, I was kind of alone there on the Soyuz capsule taking pictures. So through the rest of the team, Dmitry Kondratiev was flying the Soyuz, and Katie Coleman was actually taking timing and telling me. But it was me with one camera, and a video camera and taking picture. Here today we had, as you saw from the photo that Two-Fish Jack sent this morning, we had an armada of equipment. We had multiple places. We were flying back and forth from the station to the cupola Russian segment, up and down, and it was a completely different orchestrated system. I was impressed too by the shadow passing by. I've seen some pictures, and I always, as a kid, I always thought the Umbra would be kind of a square, defined square, but it was not. It's kind of a smudge, and this is interesting to actually see this with your own eyes.
Randy, let me go back to you for 1 second to follow up on what Paolo just touched upon. It must have been a photo feeding frenzy on board during those first 2 passes. You all have one more pass to go coming up shortly. Give us a sense of that choreography that your crewmates have explained on board, and was it everybody elbowing each other away from the windows, or how did it all work?
No, certainly everyone has their favorite things that they wanted to do, but we had to divide up the tasks because we couldn't have everybody doing the same thing. And so we even, took the still shots and said, okay, we're going to shoot this particular type and this particular speed from, this particular person, so we're going to vary it from over here to ensure that we were able to capture the images as best we could to share it with you all. Cupola was a little crowded because we had a bunch of cameras, a bunch of people, and the big thing was to try and not bump the video cameras. Sorry for the one you saw. But when you see all the video and the pictures, it's not any one person that took them. It's the Expedition 52 crew, to include our Russian crewmates. And so that's where the credit goes, because everybody did their part, not doing what they wanted to do, which is a definition of teamwork, and that's why we're here.
And Peggy, finally for you, you're less than 2 weeks away from returning to Earth after almost 10 months on the station, having logged more days in space than any American astronaut in history. How did this show today compare with some of the other major milestones you've witnessed and experienced during your 3 long-duration missions?
Well, I think having the privilege of being on 3 different long-duration missions has given me a lot of interesting experiences, and this is just another one to put in the history books for my memory. I really enjoyed seeing this, and I think maybe a little more than I expected to. And so it's just another little piece, another memory, another very special event, another very special day of this fantastic experience of being in space.
And down at Charleston, South Carolina, an old friend and colleague of yours, Mike Massimino, is standing by. He's got a question for you.
Hey Peggy, comrade, Two-Fish, Paolo, it's Mass down here in Charleston. I got to be in the path of totality below all of you today, and it was pretty awesome here, and it made me think of some of the really cool things we see of this, the timing, the cosmic dance of the universe that we see. And for each of you, could you describe something that you've seen? Peggy, you've been up there more than anyone, any other American, and all of you. Something that you've seen that has been up there more than any compares to this, that you only see from space that we can't see on the ground.
Well, I mean, I just feel like the whole experience of being here, of living here, is on a daily basis very special. There's just very special parts of each and every day. I do think this one is very nice. We've seen some incredible auroras lately. I've really enjoyed seeing scientific research getting completed, some really cool research getting completed. And of course, you can't beat the view during the spacewalk. But it's just a piece of this huge puzzle of why being in space is so beautiful.
Back here in Mission Control, for all of you, an amazing day and an amazing opportunity to share a few minutes with the Expedition 52 crew. I'd like to thank Peggy Whitson, Randy Bresnik, Jack Fisher, and Paolo Nespoli for their time today. And for you, Peggy and Jack, and your crewmate Fyodor Yurchikhin, soft landing in your Soyuz on September 3rd. You all be well and fly safe.
And with that, Dwayne, we'll toss it back to you at Eclipse Central in Charleston, South Carolina.
Thanks, Rob. Mike, thank you. It's always good to see you.
Thanks for letting me. It's good to be a part of the NASA team. So.
Thank you so much for having
Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot.
So Mike, we got you here, man. So you were here. This isn't your first Eclipse here.
My first one, yeah. I never saw one in space, and never saw one on the ground. So this is my first one in space or on the ground was today.
Okay, I know you've been asked the same question, but just how did you feel? I mean, you told that, it's amazing.
It was a really cool. It got a lot of people excited. This is one of the bigger events, maybe the biggest event we've had for a while anyway, and something everyone can get excited about. Lots of people flocked to the Path of Totality and as close as they could get, and I just felt there was a lot of excitement about it, which was great. I wish the weather was a little bit better here, though.
Yeah.
We had some clouds in the way, but even with that, it got dark, it got cool. When you see things in space, you don't hear anything, and you're in either your spacesuit, you can feel the warmth of the sun coming or the cool of the darkness as you're going around the planet, and you can see the Terminator between night and day and so on. These reminders of what we're about, what our planet is about, and where we're all space voyagers. Here I was able to feel the coolness, right? And it got really dark. But it was a lot of added sound from all the cheers of the students here at the College of Charleston, so that was kind of fun too. So it was nice to be able to, it was good to be able to share with all these students. I guess the semester hasn't started here yet, because they should be studying pretty soon. Yeah. But they're easing into that, so this is a nice way to welcome them back to school as well.
Mike, it's always good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining the team.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for letting me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, always.
It's great seeing you.
We're having a good time. So, hey, so we're going to throw it back to Karen. Karen, you got some more folks on the yard there.
Yes, I do. I've got John Hakala, who is a professor of physics and astronomy at the College of Charleston. Hello, John.
Hi, nice to see you.
Tell me, is this your first eclipse?
This is my third totality. I saw one in 1972 in the Gaspé Peninsula in Canada and one off the coast of Africa in 1973.
Have you ever done any science during an eclipse, or you're mostly an eclipse watcher?
I'm mostly an eclipse watcher. I was relatively young, but those two eclipses were what got me into astronomy.
Fantastic. Tell me a little bit about what you did to prepare today for this eclipse with the students.
Well, we had tremendous support from the faculty and staff at the College of Charleston, who put together an event around the eclipse and tied it in with our convocation. So this morning we had a convocation event where we introduced the students, and they're kicking off their 4 years in college with the eclipse. It's probably one of the best ways to, if there's ever a sign of things to come, this is probably it.
And I saw you out there with some telescopes today. Were people looking through them?
We tried to set those up. I'm not sure how successful they were because of the cloud cover, but we were able to use some indirect pinhole methods, and I walked around one of these devices to students around the yard here, and they seem to enjoy it quite a bit. It's nice when you hear them say, "Cool, can I take a picture?"
So life has changed. Can we do a tweet of you and your telescope? Tell me a little more about that with your students. Were there any of your older students who you knew were out here today, who you knew were excited, and what was their experience like?
So most of our advanced students were working with faculty members from the department, and they went to different sites and locations around the city and the county. So they were covering city parks, state parks, pretty much anywhere that they could get a location. I think we had 16 different sites. So we took the distributed approach. And in fact, I'm here almost by default because everyone else had chosen a place to go. And when the college decided to make a big deal about it, I thought, okay, well, I guess I can suffer and be a good sport. And just to show you what being a good sport means, I had to wear this hat.
You look fantastic. No, it's great. So tell me, what was the craziest question you got that somebody asked you about the eclipse?
So I wouldn't say that it's the craziest thing that I got asked, but I know that a few of the staff folks were telling me that because this coincided with the move-in day, apparently we had some parents who were frustrated with the fact that they were trying to move their kids in, but they had no hotels to stay in because everything was packed. And so they asked some of the staff if they could move the time of the eclipse.
Well, it happened whether or not we wanted it, but I have to agree it's been hard finding a place to stay. I'm sure that Charleston and the college will be happy as things calm down, you get into your year. Tell me just a little bit more. Do you have plans for taking this eclipse into the classroom? I'm curious about whether you think this will kindle excitement for people, maybe get a few new science students.
Absolutely. I mean, I think this is, there are very few opportunities that we have where science comes to the public like this event, and I think NASA's done a tremendous job of advertising this across the country. But as far as it goes here, I mean, we have the advantage now of we had some public lectures by Paul Hertz and Alex Young, and Alex is going to show up in my class tomorrow and kick the year off. So we're very excited about being able to merge this with the beginning of the school year.
That's really fantastic. I know NASA's really excited about hoping that the kinds of information that we've been sharing around the country really gets people excited. As you know, there have been events everywhere. This is our last stop along the way. Tell me, do you already have plans for 2024?
I'd like to say yes, but I need to relax from this one first, I think. Like everyone here, I think this has been everyone's done a tremendous job putting on a great show and making all the efforts to tie in as many students and the public as possible. But I think we're all ready to take a short breather before we move on.
Well, let me ask you one other question, because you had just told me a little bit. You actually work with NASA data, don't you, on a regular basis, your research? What do you work with?
I study cosmic gamma ray bursts, and I've worked with data from the Compton Observatory, the BATSI satellite. I was a team member on BATSI, and then I've worked with Swift data, have a number of collaborations going with that, and with Fermi data, and I have a number of collaborations going with that.
Fantastic. It's been great talking to you, and we're going to go back to Dwayne Brown. Thank you.
Thanks, Karen. John, I bet you that hat that the professor had on was probably going to be on social media a lot. I can bet that. From coast to coast, we've tracked the solar eclipse over the past 3 hours. Thousands of people along the path of totality have witnessed a total solar eclipse in person, a breathtaking moment when day turns into night and then back again. And today we've brought you the most spectacular images so that the millions of you watching from home could also witness these awe-inspiring moments through the eyes of NASA. I can't wait to see what the observations from today will yield. As scientists continue to analyze the images, we will continue to learn more about today's eclipse, about the sun, and about how it affects our daily lives. Yadi, your feelings, your thoughts.
This has been an amazing experience, and the clouds didn't let us see the solar corona, but it has been an amazing experience, and we got all the experience, the darkness, the cold, and the cooler of the temperature is amazing. And it's not over yet. The next total solar eclipse will be in Argentina. El próximo eclipse total solar será en Argentina. En el 2019.
Alex, your thoughts.
Well, this was amazing. I mean, as Jari said, too bad that we didn't get to see the corona, but this whole experience, it was an immersive experience, getting to feel everything around me, getting to feel the excitement. But being able to work with you all to share this with millions of people, that is really what I live for, is getting to share the beauty, the wonder of nature with everyone we possibly can, and to know that we have been able to help millions of people both in the path and outside the path share in this human experience is really what I am glad to go home and know at the end of the day. And I also know that I get to see another one. Besides the one in Argentina and Chile, we're going to have another one in this country, 2024. It's going to go from Mexico, Texas, into Ohio River Valley, upstate New York and New England, and it even crosses Carbondale. So for those that got to see the one there, could go and see another one in less than 375 years in a single place. So
I wonder if the hotels have already filled up.
I suspect they have.
John, I got to come to you. I know the conversation and everything, the images, your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, just from this point of view, listening to all of this and all the science was fantastic. I think that one of the things that really was most interesting to me was the fact that the volume of people. Like I said there earlier, this broke our records for the most streaming event we've ever had. And NASA does some pretty amazing things. We fly human beings in space. We launch spacecraft. We show images from the Hubble Space Telescope. We're doing all kinds of developmental work. It's just there's constantly awesome programming from NASA out of this world, so to speak. And so for this event to eclipse, pun intended, everything else we've done is pretty spectacular. I actually have a couple cool photos I wouldn't mind showing real fast if we have a second.
Sure.
If you could pull those up. This one right here is from the space station, from Paolo Nespoli. He posted this on his Twitter account. Pretty freaking cool, I think. This you can see the darkness of the moon shadow across the planet. And just one more photo I want to show you. This is just a fun one of from New York City, Times Square. You know, this broadcast was all over the country. People were texting me and say, "Hey, I see you on TV. I'm showing it to my kids in their classroom." And so it wasn't just us. It wasn't just the people viewing it online, the masses of people, but there was also classrooms who were broadcasting it across the country. So hopefully we've reached a lot of kids and inspired them about space exploration.
That's what it's about, inspiring the next generation. Wow, what a day. We truly want to thank the wonderful city of Charleston, and especially the College of Charleston, for hosting NASA Eclipse Central. This program simply could not have been done without the invaluable work and coordination from our NASA TV crew, NASA centers, science organizations, partners and stakeholders, and many more, really too numerous to name. But you know who you are, and thank you. And finally, I want to thank you, the public, the audience watching this program across the nation, staying with us. We brought it to you. Thank you for your support, your questions, your pictures, your thoughts. Also, helping bring the eclipse to the nation. And of course, Dottie, Alex, John, Sean, Karen, what a day.
What a day. An amazing day.
And 2024?
2024.
Are we going to be there again?
Yes.
Can I hang out with you guys again?
Yes, let's do this again.
Absolutely. Right. We'll see you guys in 2024. Thank you for watching NASA TV, where through the eyes of NASA, you've experienced Eclipse 2017. Please go to the NASA websites. The story does not end here. The story does not end here. Many more images and science data will be coming out over the next several days. They will be awesome too. So stay tuned and visit our website and social media accounts. Hanging out with John. I'm Dwayne Brown for the team here. Charleston signing off on NASA Eclipse Central. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.